Hello, thank you for being here. My voice may sound calm now, but it wasn't always this way. For many years, I lived a life most people only hear about in whispers. I was a witch. Not the fantasy kind, not the harmless aesthetic kind, but deeply involved in rituals, symbols, and spiritual manipulation. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here because what I'm about to reveal affects your money, your future, and your home. If you've ever wondered why you work hard but remain stuck, why money slips through your hands no matter what you do, this message is for you. Listen slowly. Let it sink in. Because poverty is not always financial. Sometimes it is programmed. When I was inside witchcraft, we were taught something most people will never be told. Homes are not just places to live. They are spiritual environments. Every object inside a home speaks. It either attracts flow or blocks it. It either agrees with growth or partners with lack. Many people unknowingly decorate their homes with objects that silently sabotage them. These objects don't scream, they whisper. And the longer they stay, the deeper the agreement becomes. I've seen successful people collapse financially without explanation, simply because of what they allowed to remain in their personal space. Let me begin with the first object, and this one is more common than you think. Broken items that are kept just in case. Cracked mirrors, stopped clocks, damaged furniture, appliances that no longer work but are never thrown away. In witchcraft, broken objects represent interrupted flow. They symbolize halted progress. We use them intentionally in stagnation rituals. A stopped clock was never just a clock. It was a command, nothing moves forward. When you live surrounded by broken things, you unknowingly accept delay as normal. Your finances respond accordingly. I remember placing intention into broken objects and watching lives slowly freeze. Promotions delayed, businesses failing without reason, opportunities arriving too late. People blamed luck or timing, never realizing the spiritual agreement sitting quietly in their homes. Broken objects hold memory. They trap energy. And when money enters a space filled with stagnation, it cannot stay. It leaks. It disappears. You may clean your house, but if you keep brokenness, you are still honoring lack. The second object is more dangerous because it hides behind emotion. Gifts, especially gifts from people who were jealous of you, controlled you, hurt you, or lived in darkness themselves. In witchcraft, personal items are powerful carriers. When someone gives you something, they don't just give the object. They transfer intention. Jewelry, decorative items, religious symbols, even clothing can be spiritually charged. I personally watched people's financial lives collapse after proudly displaying gifts that carried envy and resentment. We used gifts as silent doors. Once accepted, the connection remained open. The object became a spiritual witness inside the home. If the giver carried bitterness, manipulation, or occult involvement, the gift carried it too. People wondered why their confidence dropped, why money arguments increased, why peace vanished. They never suspected the object sitting on a shelf, smiling quietly while draining their financial clarity. Not every gift is love. Some are contracts disguised as kindness. Now let me talk about the third object because almost every home has it and almost no one questions it. Symbols, pictures, art, decorations that glorify struggle, poverty, death, or endless suffering. Images of crying faces, broken roads, dark figures, skulls, or quotes that celebrate exhaustion and survival instead of abundance. In witchcraft, symbols are not decoration, they are commands. The subconscious obeys them. The spiritual realm enforces them. What you repeatedly see, you eventually become. We were taught that a home filled with images of struggle will never attract overflow. A home that honors pain will reproduce pain. Even motivational phrases that normalize suffering. Life is hard. Nothing comes easy. We survive, we don't thrive. Act as spiritual limitations. Money avoids places where it is not welcomed with honor. And symbols decide what is honored. When I left witchcraft, I didn't just leave rituals. I dismantled my environment. I removed objects that once gave me identity. I replaced darkness with clarity. And slowly, something changed. Not overnight, but steadily. My thinking cleared. My fear loosened. My relationship with provision transformed. That's when I understood the truth I'm sharing with you now. Your home is an altar, whether you believe it or not. And altars always produce results. If you feel uncomfortable right now, that's not fear. That's recognition. Something inside you is connecting the dots. You're remembering moments when money slipped away, when plans failed at the last second, when progress felt blocked. This is not about superstition. This is about awareness. And awareness is the first step out. In the next part, I'll tell you exactly how these objects gain power and how to break their hold permanently. There's something I need you to understand before you try to change anything. Objects don't have power on their own. Power is given through agreement. In witchcraft, we never forced outcomes. We partnered with what people already allowed. The home is the easiest place to create agreement because it feels safe, familiar, personal. When an object enters your home and stays there long enough, it becomes part of your identity. It starts speaking on your behalf. So when money comes near, the environment decides whether it stays or leaves. This is why some people earn more but never keep more. You may ask, why does this work? Because the subconscious mind does not argue, it absorbs. Every time you walk past a broken object, you silently accept brokenness as normal. Every time you see a symbol of struggle, your mind rehearses lack. Every time you touch a gift tied to pain, You reopen emotional contracts. Witchcraft exploited this. We didn't need demons jumping around rooms. We needed consistency, repetition, time. That's how poverty becomes generational. Not through curses, but through environments that never change. I've watched families clean their finances but ignore their homes. They budgeted, hustled, prayed, manifested, but nothing shifted. Why? Because the altar was untouched. The same objects remained. The same symbols watched. The same agreements stayed active. Money is sensitive. It responds to atmosphere. It seeks order, honor, and movement. When a home is spiritually cluttered, money feels unsafe there, so it visits briefly and leaves quickly. People call this bad luck. We called it success. Breaking these agreements doesn't require fear. It requires intention. When I removed broken items, I didn't just throw them away. I closed chapters. When I released gifts tied to darkness, I spoke clarity over my space. When I changed symbols, I re-educated my mind. This isn't about becoming religious or spiritual overnight. It's about reclaiming authority over your environment. You don't need rituals. You need awareness and action. Darkness only works when it's hidden. If you're wondering what to do next, start small. Walk through your home slowly. Observe without emotion. Ask yourself, what does this object represent? Not what it cost, not who gave it, what it speaks. If it speaks stagnation, pain, fear, or lack, thank it for its time and let it go. You don't need to explain your healing to objects that benefited from your silence. Removing them is not loss, it's recovery. Some of you will feel resistance. That's normal. Resistance means attachment. Attachment means agreement. Witchcraft thrived on emotional attachment to objects. People defended what harmed them. They said, I've always had this. Or, it doesn't mean anything. But the truth is, if it didn't mean anything, it wouldn't be there. Your space should reflect where you're going, not where you survived. Prosperity requires alignment, not desperation. When I finally aligned my environment, something unexpected happened. Opportunities didn't just increase, they stabilized. Money didn't just come, it stayed. I stopped feeling chased by bills and deadlines. Peace replaced panic. And no one cast a spell for that. I simply stopped agreeing with lack. I stopped feeding it visually, emotionally, and spiritually. That's the secret people inside witchcraft never want you to know. You don't need power. You already have it. If you're still watching this, it means something inside you is ready to change. Not because you're desperate, but because you're done repeating cycles that never made sense. This message isn't here to scare you. It's here to free you. Poverty doesn't always start in your bank account. It starts in your environment. Change the environment, and the flow follows. I share this because I once used this knowledge to harm without understanding the weight of it. Now, I use it to expose what thrives in silence. If this helped you see your home differently, don't ignore that feeling. Awareness fades if you don't act, and the longer agreements stay unchallenged, the stronger they feel. You deserve a home that supports your future, not one that feeds your past. This is why I speak now. This is why I expose. Not to relive darkness, but to dismantle it. If this message reached you, you were meant to hear it. Your escape doesn't start outside. It starts at home. This is Tichi Final Escapee, and today you took another step out.